Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of Trash Talk. I'm here with a very, 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 very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello, it is I, Femyoz. I may or may not be here to debate you. I'm probably not, but there's a non-zero chance I am. So,
Yeah,
I...
don't worry. We're not going to debate you. We're all good.
Alright.
Yeah.
I have no idea what we're doing here. Other than, okay, we're just talking about YouTube drama and something related to me, maybe, potentially. But, yeah, I'm going into this with an open mind, so...
Oh, this is gonna be
Yeah,
crazy.
no, 100%. Well, let's just dive straight into it. Before we get into drama or like proper content creation, let's talk about how you got started on YouTube. Like, what got you into doing YouTube content? How did you get into that scene?
Oh boy. So, I remember I was, what? I think I was 7 when I started watching YouTube. 7 or
Yeah.
8, so around that age.
Mhm.
And I created my first YouTube account a little over 10 years ago, when I was just 9 years old. Just, a kid making dog shit videos on my iPad. And yes, I was an iPad kid growing up.
Ain't no way.
Yeah. Unsurprising, I know. No, but so I just started out by making YouTube poops way back in the day. They weren't very good, I'm gonna be real. And I don't know, I've sort of had an on and off relationship with YouTube, I guess. Sometimes I'm active, sometimes I take multiple years off. So, yeah, I don't know, I'm not very consistent, but I guess it was just seeing other people make content and wanting to do the same. I saw other people say things or do things that I thought were cool or funny, and I wanted to do that for other people.
No, 100%.
enough.
Like, I guess it is pretty inspiring. Like Ace, what would you have to say about that? As a guy that's got a pretty similar story yourself,
Yeah.
what do you have to say?
I think definitely fair and relatable story. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's the usual journey to begin YouTube. If I'm being real, yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And just going on to like more of the content, practical side of things. For maybe people that don't watch you, don't know who you are. What sort of content do you do on the platform?
Oh boy, I do all sorts of stuff. I struggle to just do one niche or topic, so I have whatever more comedy-based stuff. Sometimes I do politics and debate. Sometimes I do Minecraft. Sometimes I just do satire. Sometimes I just say whatever I want. It sort of depends on how I'm feeling. And it also depends on whether or not I'm doing a video or a stream. Though I should make more videos.
No,
So,
and just with the live streaming stuff, right? Live streaming can be a very like daunting process, right? Like, how do you cope with doing like live streams, right? Because it is very easy to mess up. And like, just on that, have you ever messed up during a live stream?
oh yeah, plenty of times. I mean, that's sort of where all the controversy comes from, is
Yeah.
mostly dumb shit I say during live streams, or whatever it may be. Because during a live stream, I almost have to put on a show for the audience, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I'm gonna act like more of an arrogant asshole than I would be in my day-to-day life. Now, that's
Mhm.
great and all for entertainment value, but when it comes to my actual judgment, there's not really enough of a filter there. So I've done a few things that I'm not, I don't look back, too fondly upon, a few things I've said or done. They were either in poor taste or they were just shitty.
Yeah, no, and I get that, right? Like, there's been a lot of controversy around you. Some of the funniest stuff being like the you eat dirty diaper stuff.
Yeah, well,
But
that shit's all just like a meme. Like, I
yeah,
don't
you
care
know,
about that.
I played into that
I'm
as
more
well.
talking about like actual,
Oh yeah, I
like
know.
actual shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like things you've had to address. That's more probably the more comedic side of things. Like, I've even played into that, saying like you eat dirty shitty
Yeah.
diapers. You've seen the video and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I don't
I
care
know.
about that.
Yeah, that's more of like the fun side, right? The funny, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
gagsty
like
situation.
I can appreciate the humor there.
Yeah, and well, I know Ace Howler was really like desperate to ask you some questions, more focused on the drama stuff. So Ace, would you like to just take that away? Just giving you the reins there.
So when I ask these, I just want this to be known. It is not like a form of attack, but more of an understanding of your thought process through this stuff.
Yeah, of
If that
course.
makes sense. So
Yeah, I get that.
so I know that you've obviously had quite a few controversies, but I kind of like wanted to know, like, I know this one's been brought up a lot, but there has been a controversy that you leaked a 14-year-old kid's face online before. I kind of like
Yes.
I kind of wanted to know
Yeah,
the
I think
thought process of
they
that.
were 15 or 14. I think that they said they were 15, but they were actually 14. Either way, I shouldn't have leaked their face. Ultimately, what happened is, the reason I was even able to leak their face in the first place was they actually accidentally leaked it in a VC on like a previous live stream from a while
Yeah.
ago, right? But then I
See.
used the YouTube editor tool thingy to blur it out. Then later down the line, this kid nuked the server, so I decided, out of spite, I'm just gonna unblur this kid's face so that I can roast him on a subsequent live stream. Now, it wasn't just unblurring the face that I have an issue. I mean, that was wrong. Don't, yeah, obviously, but where I think I took it too far was dedicating an entire stream to this because what, he nuked a server? It's like, yeah, that was
Yeah.
shitty of him. But I shouldn't have leaked his face just for the sake of roasting him and then, leaking all of our DMs where, okay, maybe it doesn't classify as doxing, but it's still really shitty, right? It's like, I mean, my mindset at the time was, well, he, you know, betrayed my trust because I trusted him not to nuke the server. So clearly he's okay with breaking people's trust. So he shouldn't mind if I do it, right? But at the end of the day, I was just being a petty asshole, and I should do better. Like I should know better as the content creator, right?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
and
that's
like,
fair enough.
do you get the criticism that's directed towards you over all of that?
Absolutely. Like, I understand the criticism. I've received a lot of it. Sometimes I do get a little bit annoyed by it, admittedly, because it's like, okay, I've already talked about this 5 trillion times, but I come from a place of understanding and I get, okay, this is my fault, right? Like, I wouldn't have to deal with this shit if I didn't do the fucked up thing in the first place, right? So I try to think of it that way. It's like, okay, maybe don't do fucked up things then, or this happens, right? So it's like a reminder to keep myself in line almost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
no,
definitely
100%.
understand.
Like,
So,
and I guess with that you can only really reflect on that.
Yeah.
so would you say like most of the dramas you've had was more out of irresponsible emotional reaction more than rational thinking with it?
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm. All
None
right.
of the like whenever I say uh dumb shit that I sort of get in trouble for, it's not because I'm some genius mastermind with this grand conspiracy of how I'm going to actually you know uh, do all this crazy, like, no, it's just, oh, I'm just a dumbass sometimes. Now there are other instances where it's some of each, right? So with the Cheeto stuff, it's like, okay, I was trying to stir shit for attention, right? And I
Yeah.
did sort of have a plan. Okay, I was going to make this into content, but it's like, okay, I feel like it sort of, it was taken so seriously by some people to the point where it's like, I don't even want to deal with this shit. It's like, okay, people really got, like, I thought, okay, people are gonna get mad, but I didn't think they would get mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember that. Do you like happen to regret the comments that you made, or do you still feel proud of making those comments with to a Cheeto?
I mean, I don't know if I would say I necessarily regret them, but like, given a do-over, let's say, I probably wouldn't make them again. I don't know. I don't see the point.
Fair
Um,
enough.
I don't think it's a good way of growing my channel, to be honest. I think at the end of the day, uh, I don't think the Keemstar route is the right one to take for me. I don't think I'm consistent enough. I don't have the right personality for that, and I've sort of started to realize that. It's like, in theory, it works, because I imagine, like, this, like, distant version of myself that doesn't have emotions, but then when it comes down to the actual situation, it's like, I can't bring myself to go through with this.
Yeah, and well, I feel like in commentary, right, there are a lot of videos made on you, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd like to say that you're maybe more of a disliked individual.
Oh, yeah, no,
Um,
I am well aware of the fact that most commentary people are not fans of the Femyoz YouTube channel, to
yeah,
say the very least.
like, how do you feel that like these videos are being published on you, and like some of them are getting thousands of views, with like one of the most popular having 20,000 views?
I think so. I think some of the criticism is fair, and some of it is a bit of a stretch. It's kind of a mixed bag. Some of it is whatever, just people shit posting. I think that a lot of times, rather than having a nuanced discussion about me or my actions or my content, the goal seems to be to produce a one-sided narrative against me to maximize the average view duration, because it's more interesting if you say that, oh, Femyoz is this evil person who's done all these evil things and has no redeeming qualities. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. It's like, okay, that's YouTube for you.
So, are you saying that hate and that stuff, does it not get to you like in any degree? Or are you past that? Like, can you look past all of those negative comments and continue doing what you're doing? It's like, I feel like, and this isn't like an attack or whatever, but I feel like if I was receiving so many negative comments to the point where, like, I'm known for being a hated individual, like, I probably couldn't continue functioning, like, online as I would normally do. Like, in real life, that would, like it wouldn't, like, affect. But, like, functioning online and doing, like, live streams and stuff, like, does it not affect motivation that there is like a large majority of people that are there to hate watch, or is that not a factor for you, or do you not really care about that?
I'd say it definitely is a factor to an extent. I'd like to think.
Yeah,
Oh, one sec. My cat's trying to leave my room. Hold on.
you know.
Okay, sorry, I'm back. Yeah, no, it definitely does. It definitely does have an impact. But it's not like a huge impact, but it's definitely there. I would say that, the first time, or the first couple of times I started getting an influx of hate that I wasn't used to,
Hmm.
that was terrifying in a sense. It's like, holy shit, like, I didn't, it's like, okay, I knew in theory that this might get me hate, but it's like, oh god, when it's actually happening, it feels different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
No,
after a
no,
while,
no.
I'm like, okay, right? So, like, after the Augie stream,
Hmm.
even though I was just like, whatever, just being like kind of an asshole, because that's sort of my thing sometimes.
Oh
It's
boy.
like there were like a ton of people talking shit about me, and it's like, oh, I'm not used to that. So I was spurging out on Twitter for a day, and then I realized I was being cringe, and I'm like, okay, actually, I'm being cringe. I'm actually just gonna make this into a joke now. So that's what I did. Um,
Hmm.
Wait, is
the
that the
Cheeto stuff,
same live stream that you promoted your OnlyFans at the end before getting
yes,
kicked? Oh my
yes,
god. That's crazy.
yes.
Oh god.
I was surprised that not, because like it wasn't 100% a troll, but I was definitely playing into it a little bit, if I'm going to be totally real,
Hmm.
right? Like I wasn't actually trying to get people to subscribe to my OnlyFans. I was mainly just shit posting, right?
Yeah.
It was mainly for the entertainment, right? And
Yeah.
even though a lot of people, disliked me or, thought I was annoying, they sort of had to admit that it was the most entertaining part of the stream, regardless. And that was sort of my goal, in a sense, was to be entertaining. It's just sometimes there's a disconnect between my goal and what I think will happen if I reach that goal versus what it's actually like. and that's sort of where I get fucked.
Well, yeah, and like that's like a pretty good take point where I just do want to just like sum up this bit of the podcast, like the drama bit of it. With the community tab you made probably about 3 months ago now. I'm looking at it right now. Where you addressed a lot of the drama, right? Because like I felt like having you on, right, like the drama and the controversies surrounding you is a big part of why people know you, like what you do and stuff, right? So I would just like to go through. I know you've gone through this already, but I'd like to just ask a couple of questions about it, if that's okay.
Yeah, of
Um,
course. Go for it.
your fourth
Um,
point on this community tab, is your association with Nattie Forsyth, and based on that, and I know, of course, in that 3 months, a lot has changed with Nattie and stuff. So I would just like to ask your revised opinions on Nattie and everything going on, because again, there's a lot has changed since then. So it wouldn't be fair to just like hold you to that without asking you what's your opinion on all that.
yeah, I'm becoming, I mean, I've always been whatever, a little bit skeptical, or actually fairly skeptical, right? Maybe
Hmm.
not as much as I should have been.
Yeah.
But I am very skeptical at this point. Uh, I don't see a point in whatever condemning Nattie. It's okay. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to the 5 trillionth commentary video about why Nattie Forsyth is bad. It's like, okay, that's not very useful, right? And it's like, okay, this is somebody that I genuinely want to, I want the best for her, right?
Hmm.
Regardless. I am somebody that if I'm friends with you, it's like I want you to succeed. I want you to, and it's like I will defend you, right? Um, I don't know. I think that everybody uh deserves the right to have, their side of the story, be out there, to have somebody rationally defend them, or at least try to. I think everybody deserves the right to have, more than just one side of the story that's against them to be out there, if that makes sense. So
Well,
that's sort of
yeah,
where I came from.
like I 100% get that, and just like looking at the stuff that's gone on now with Natty, right? So like the live stream that they did, like I know that came back up, right? Where they were like practically naked. I know they had their like underwear on.
Yeah, they were
Like,
in their underwear. So
yeah,
I think they were 17 when they streamed that.
yeah.
Which is obviously still fucked up. Um,
Like, do you
so
go
at
against
first,
that? Like,
at
is
at
that something that
first,
you go?
um,
Mhm.
well, yeah, it is absolutely something I thought. Well, first I thought, holy shit, is this recent? If this is recent, like, what the fuck? Like, holy fuck, I need to not defend this. But then I'm like, okay, I realized, okay, this happened a while ago, but I still need to
Mhm.
think about this, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like, okay, the more shit that comes out, the more times I can be, the harder it becomes to be like, okay, is there a pattern of behavior? And the answer is going from less of a no, this is like a thing that happened like once or twice, to a okay, there's like a lot of shit out there now. And
Hmm.
I guess the only thing that's really keeping me from wanting to, uh condemn Nattie or think, okay, yeah, she's a bad person or whatever, um, is the fact that I haven't seen evidence of her doing anything recently, right? I believe that people can be really fucked up at some point in their life, and become better. I don't think she's, a PDF file. I don't think she's attracted to kids. She's never come across as somebody who is. I do think she's a degen, but a lot of people are degens, and that doesn't mean that, their entire livelihood should be ruined, right?
Yeah, like from my like conversations with them, right? Because near the end, like before they quit as 94 if they came back is a completely different question. But before they quit as Natty Forsyth, like I had like a lot of connection with them. They had more connection with me. They would speak to me a lot and or speak at me with a lot of their stuff. It seems like regardless of your view, they are a very troubled individual. Someone that
Yes.
needs a lot of help. Someone that I will never agree with anything they've ever done.
Yeah.
I regardless of labels or what people are saying, I will never agree with any of their actions, how they've gone about it, and I don't support anything they've done. I can't lie. That is just my personal opinion. I think they do deserve
Yeah.
to be
So
prosecuted, not in like law terms, but just prosecuted in the eye of like people in the public, right?
so
Like for you,
this
where does that
is
vary? Like, because
so
that's
for
a very
me.
Mhm.
So for me, this is sort of something that people often misunderstand or misconstrue or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Um, just because I'm friends with somebody or defend them doesn't necessarily mean I agree with all their past actions. I've said about probably 5 trillion times now that yes, it was bad that she sent the dick in the sewing machine video. Yes, it was bad she didn't verify the age of that person. Yes, it was bad. Like, yes, it was bad that she did this. But if
Hmm.
she's changed, and this is what she did when she was barely an adult, and she doesn't do it anymore, I think she deserves a second chance. I mean, she already got a fuck ton of shit for it. Now, I obviously have the I guess distinct advantage of having talked to her in private quite a bit, right? So I sort of know a little bit more about, you know, what she's actually like, you know? And
Mm.
yes, she is very, very, very mentally ill. And I, at this point, I have told her, and Jalyn has told her the same thing. Um, she should not be on the internet, at least not right now. She needs to get help. She needs therapy because she cannot be on the internet and continue like this. She's extremely suicidal, right? And it's like, okay, this is not good for you, right? Like this shit makes her suicidal. So I'm, it's we're telling. So at this point, it seems like she's actually kind of listening. Maybe I'm not sure if they're lurking or not. I couldn't tell you. Um, but I
Hmm.
mean, they did kind of delete their channel, so I guess that's a good start. And yeah, I hope she gets the help she needs, and I hope she lives a happy and fulfilling life, whether it be on YouTube 5 years from now or doing something entirely different. As long as she's happy and not hurting anyone, that's what I want.
No, and just before moving on to like a completely different subject entirely, can you see why people might be critical of that take of yours? Like, could you see why people would be, or are you like pretty strong in your beliefs there?
I'm pretty strong in my beliefs. I know you know what other people believe, but that's not necessarily gonna that's not enough to persuade me, right? I mean, hell,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
are a
yeah.
ton of people. There are people that think she's a genuine like a genuine predator who deliberately preys upon children. I don't think that she's even in a mental state where she's capable of being manipulative, but maybe that's just me. Uh, I don't know. She just seems extremely mentally ill, and I think she needs help. I don't think she should be on the internet. I think she needs therapy, and that's my position.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like whatever way you look at it, that they are wrong in some element. I personally
Oh,
believe
I
they are
agree.
wrong in a lot of elements. Um, but yeah, I guess it all boils down to personal beliefs and personal preferences. Like, especially if you've known
Well,
the individual, like you've known the individual, right? Like
yeah,
you've
and it's
known
not
them
just
more than one
that.
person.
It's not just that, because I feel like we all sort of agree that, okay, yeah, Natty fucked up in these situations. It has less to do with, is this a good or a bad thing, and more to do with, okay, we all agree that the dick in the sewing machine video was bad, right? Or this other controversy was bad. All of these controversies, we all agree that they're bad. It has more to do with, to what extent are they bad, and are they unforgivable? How long should it be till we forgive her, right?
Hmm.
What does she have to do to prove that she's changed, right? That's more, I guess, where the disagreement is. Because I don't know, like, yes, she's done fucked up things. And maybe I needed to make that more clear. After all, I do sort of act as a contrarian a lot of the time. So it's like if
Mhm.
somebody sort of already says something, it's like I don't feel the need to repeat their opinion, but I don't know.
So, Femyoz, I know
Yeah.
earlier you said like just because you're friends with someone doesn't mean you agree with everything that they've done, and yes, I think that does really show here. But I'm also kind of like wondering, have you ever gotten called like maybe something like associated with a racist because you were friends with Jalyn before, or
Oh yes, I absolutely have. It's
how?
annoying as shit. It's like it's like I don't know. It just seems like a non-argument against me. You know what I mean? It's like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, you are a bad person because of something that you personally didn't say or do. It's like, okay, well, if you're criticizing me, quote unquote, for somebody else's actions, all you are telling me is you don't have anything you can actually criticize me for. Not that there isn't anything, but that you personally haven't found anything. So you're grasping at straws and using criticism against my friend against me, right? It's like, okay, but I didn't, I didn't make Jalyn yell the N-word in that VC. Now, frankly, I don't care that much because at the end of the day, they were egging her on and to the point where she had a mental breakdown. That doesn't justify it, but it is the reason, right? She's not ideologically racist. Like if you asked her, okay, what are your positions on systemic racism? She'll give you like the most, uh, obvious, I guess, you know, liberal or leftist position when it comes to systemic racism, right? It's not going to be, you know, she's not going to pull the 1350 meme or anything like that, right? So
yeah,
ideologically, she's not racist.
fair enough, fair enough.
I
I guess
think
the only argument coming back to that would be people that would pull up like the like 10 plus times of them saying the N word, which I guess at that point it's just again you know them, you know them
yeah.
again probably better than the average individual, so that all comes down to like how you've experienced them, what you know about them and stuff, which some people probably don't know, right? You probably know way more than the average commentary or right? Um, but I guess
Sure.
some people would always argue that, like, well, like it's not like they accidentally said it once; that they've like shouted it at people.
Oh, I know. At the end of the day, um, I don't. I think part of. I think the main reason why, I'm against her saying it in a lot
Hmm.
of instances is it's not that she said it; it's the way she said it. I don't care if somebody says the N word, regardless if it's like whatever. I don't give a shit, right?
Hmm.
I think that the way iDubbbz used to say it was funny. Like I don't see an issue with it, right? Um, I do see an issue with saying it derogatorily, right?
Hmm.
However, I do find myself getting annoyed when people are, and this, in all fairness, this was sort of a while ago, but there was a point where like people would not shut up on my Discord about, oh my god, did you know that Jalyn is an evil racist? Why do you associate with her? Aren't you gonna ban her from your server? She's this evil racist. Or why are you still
Mm.
friends with her? Did you know that it's like shut the fuck up. I do not care. I could not care less about it's like originally I would have, maybe condemned this, but now you've made me not care. Now I'm gonna side with Jalyn 100% because fuck that shit. It's so nah fuck. It's I have a tendency to be contrarian though, which maybe I need to work on.
Do you reckon that tendency like tends to screw you over?
Yeah, sometimes. That's why I would need to work on it.
Yeah, because I guess on that like there must be a point, right, where to be contrarian you would have to say something wild, like in certain situations. Like I guess you can't always be contrarian, but again, that's why you said you got
Yeah,
to.
I'm not always contrarian, but a lot of the time, whenever there is a reasonable perspective that's like an alternative perspective that might not be intuitively obvious to everybody, but it's still potentially reasonable nonetheless. It's like I feel like I need to put it out there, right? So if everybody is
Hmm.
saying one thing and nobody's really considered the opposite opinion. My first inclination is to explore the opposite side of things, the other end of the coin, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like I just feel like I should do that rather than just going with what people say. I feel like I don't know. It's like I'm the opposite of most people in that way. Like most people, if they hear a bunch of people saying something, they'll sort of like go along with it. I'm the opposite. I don't know why. It might be an autism thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, like I know, like, I guess again that, like you said, that probably comes down to like condition, mental health, that all that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And like on that note, I would really like to thank you for coming on the podcast for like 30 minutes and just speaking about you, live streams, content creation, a lot of the drama. I know it was pretty drama heavy, but I felt like that's again what you're known for, what
Yeah.
you do as well, right?
I think it
So I
Correct.
was
I
really
have
really
been doing more drama / commentary stuff lately
yeah.
on my streams.
Yeah, it was really necessary, to be able to get, your thought process on the drama too, not just throw it in your face.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that. Not just making it like a one-sided thing where, oh yeah, let's have like Femyoz and then 4 people dogpile me. It's like okay, well, it's like there have been streams like that, but okay.
Yeah.
No, I get that, man.
So
And I
yeah,
do really appreciate you coming on the podcast, like I said. So, everyone, if you did enjoy today's episode of Trash Talk, please consider going and check out everyone involved in today's episode and subscribing to Trash Talk. But I have been your host, Samuel, and I will catch you in the next episode of Trash Talk.